Yeah, you grow comfortable. I remember my first videos too. I was like, oh my God, we can't use that. But then just keep posting and practicing. You'll get better.
Absolutely. Yeah, consistency is the name of the game. At the end of the day, if you show up, people watch silently and people eventually reach out.
Hi, I'm Maude Matthew, and this is the Realtors Conspiracy podcast where we crack the code to real estate success. Learn from top realtors, entrepreneurs, and innovators about how to grow your business as we discuss real estate success stories, mindset, processes, motivations, and the key to their success. Check out our podcast episodes every Monday to crack the code to success for your real estate business. This week, I'm speaking with Matthew Kelly from EXP. This episode is packed with information and tips. Matthew comes from a marketing background and he is a business-minded realtor. By focusing on one thing that works for him and doing it consistently, he developed a powerful branding using videos. The basic keywords for his strategy are curiosity and consistency. He's learning, growing, and growing his business constantly. This is such a great episode for realtors wanting to develop a strong brand strategy and grow their business. Let's get to my chat with Matthew. Hi Matthew, thanks for joining us on the episode today. Tell us, what is the key to your success?
Hey, thank you so much for having me today. So I guess the key to my success is really helping my buyers streamline and simplify the buying process through utilizing video. Would be a simple, easy way to say it.
Okay. What kind of videos do you offer them? How do you
Yeah. So there's really two main different types. There's first the front-facing video, which is everyone sees. So I have a YouTube channel first called Living in Burlington, where I just teach people about what it's like living in Burlington and the surrounding areas. Really, like Oakville and Hamilton is where I focus. As I've lived in Burlington in this area, went to school at Master, so I kind of know the area pretty well. And I want to help people that are relocating here that maybe not know the best neighborhoods, the best parks, where the schools are. And typically, when you start teaching people through education, they'll also reach out naturally through real estate. So I guess that's the front-facing video. And then for the back-facing videos, which is really talking with clients, it's very similar to a Zoom call, but I use a software called Loom, which allows me to screen record my thing. And then rather than just having a boring email, I can add a lot more nuances. Rather than giving you advice on like what we should price it for or what we should bid for, I'll show you the market value, give you my 2 cents on it as well, and allow you to come to an educated approach on whatever we're going to do.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm hearing like realtors thinking, oh my God, that's so much work. How do you prioritize or how do you process your videos and your days, and who do you pick on your database? So it's kind of like 3 questions.
Yeah, so I guess it really depends on the temperature the lead is, right? So if they're a colder lead, maybe it's more of a standardized newsletter email where I just kind of update them a monthly email. Hey, this is what's happening in the Burlington real estate market, just to keep them updated. Then if it's someone that has reached out to me, giving me their search criteria, typically every 2 weeks or every week, depending on how motivated they are, I'll go in, I'll know, hey, these are some handpicked ones I'd like, as well as what's been happening in the market, right? Because it's good to know not just what the list price is, but what actually the market value is. So when you're looking at these homes, is it actually realistic? Is it actually within the budget? So that's just me sitting down. And to be honest, at this point now, it takes maybe a minute, 2 minutes to record a video. They're not long videos, right? Because there's maybe 5 properties and you can only see so much that is to be said. So it's really that there. Then as for like the front-facing videos, YouTube, it's a lot of time, I'll be honest. It's a lot of time, especially because like, I find if you're going to be teaching people about how they're moving here, I at least have the theory that they want to learn about what it looks like and not just my pretty face. So as a result, like I'll go out and I'll get all the drone shots, I'll get all the footage so that when I'm talking about a certain area, a certain neighborhood, they can see and actually look and feel of what it is. So to be honest, like YouTube will take a lot of time, but it's evergreen. And that's kind of the thing that I like most about it is once it's done, it's leveraged, right? And maybe that video takes me 8 hours to create. I have videos that I posted a year ago that have now 40 hours, 50 hours of watch time and are continuing to get watch time today. So while it's a lot of work up front, I find in the long run, it reaps the benefits.
It's relevant. It's relevant content. It's still good. People will still find it and watch it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, that's cool. For your Loom videos or for your instructional videos that you do on a one-on-one basis, like how do you grow that database? How do you get more leads for yourself?
Yeah, so right now I'm focusing a lot on social media. So one, just Instagram, people reaching out to the DMs, but also reaching out to people's DMs as well, right? Because when people post on Instagram, they're wanting someone to mention, they're wanting to talk about it, obviously, because otherwise they wouldn't share it. So it really is a great opportunity just to start the conversation. Nothing about real estate to start, but if they post a story about basketball or food, talk about that. And eventually they'll have a question about real estate and then be like, hey, let me grab your email and get more information to you there.
Yeah.
So that's one way I really add it. YouTube as well, just people reaching out saying, hey, I love your videos. I want to do it. And then I was running some like just Facebook ad campaigns, but I've paused that for a moment. I want to start leveraging my videos and ads, but I haven't fully figured that out yet. I'm kind of working on some things in the works. So hopefully that will be the third way I can grow my list.
Yeah, for sure. Keep growing your database, keep nurturing it. That would
Absolutely. Yeah.
get you, yeah. And then when you're saying, like a lot of people, realtors would say, I reach out to people on Instagram, I send them a DM, I never hear back. And then how do you
Mhm.
deal with that? How do you counter that?
Um, well, if who cares? You know what I mean? Like they're gonna work with you anyways. If they're not reaching out back to you. So just keep sending messages, keep commenting. Most people watch silently. Most people will like your comment, not comment back. But if you show up repeatedly with actually not just like three emojis in the comment, but you actually leave a meaningful comment where it's actually going in, hey, this is my experiences, or you can add value or answer a question or whatever it is. That's really where people will see because people will start taking notice. So it's really just it's a numbers game at the end of the day, right? Not everyone that is going to that I like or comment on their post is going to come back in, but maybe 5 people a day will, and they'll become followers, and then slowly they'll build trust with me that way.
Yeah, so just never give up. Just keep continuing.
Yeah,
Try somewhere
yeah.
else. Yeah. Very
Exactly. And that's, I would say the same with video. I find so many realtors get caught up with like, what do I say? What am I going to look like? And to be honest, your first few videos, no one's going to watch anyways. So
yeah.
who cares?
Ex-
It's just, you need to understand your voice. You need to understand what content you're going to do and just start. Like when I started the videos that I look now, I knew video was the future, but I didn't know what, right? So I was doing silly book reviews. I was doing finance, like just like credit advice. I was doing everything under the sun just to get the umbrella. And most people didn't watch. But
Yeah.
thankfully, because I put that word, I was able now to create videos that I'm pretty confident and pretty happy with the end result of them.
Yeah. You grow comfortable. I remember my first videos too. I was like, oh my God, we can't use that. But then just keep posting and practicing. You'll get better at it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Consistency is the name of the game. At the end of the day, if you show up, people watch silently and people eventually reach out.
Yeah. What is the quality that got you to where you are today, personally, like about who you are?
Curiosity. I think curiosity with a mixture of like not like being okay with failure. So I've very, very big into self-education, taking as many courses as I can, many books as I can. So really just trying to understand what step I need to learn, right? So, and I don't think it's just curiosity, it's specific curiosity. So at the first, I just read any book I can get. Now I'm really focused on specific knowledge. So like I talked about earlier, I'm trying to figure out like what's the best way I can utilize my videos through paid strategies. Well, one of the greatest books that I've read would be like .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, and Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson, the trilogy. So I've read that in the past just when I was trying to collect knowledge, and now I actually have use for it. So now I'm kind of rereading and going through that. So I guess it's like the curiosity of like trying to figure out what the next step is, and then learning from other people that have had that success what that next step is, and then be okay if it fails, and then try something else or pivot.
Yeah, being okay with failure, testing, measuring, trying, and then trying other things and see what works. I love it.
Yeah.
Consistency always comes back to consistency.
It really does. And you get way more comfortable. Like I remember when I first started really videos, it'd be in the wintertime and I'd be like walking around the neighborhood just trying to get a video. It'd be like 50 takes. My hand would be like numb because it's so cold, right? Because I'm like, I didn't like that take. I didn't like that take. But now it's like you just whip up the phone and 2 seconds it's done. But it takes a lot of practice for sure.
Yeah. One thing that you mentioned, I don't know where we read that from you, but it was like so straightforward but real that I wanted to ask you. It says something like, you don't need a realtor, so might as well have one who will help you. How, like, why did you come up with that, and what do you get out of using that?
Yeah. Well, I think first, so before becoming a realtor, I was really trying to help realtors with marketing. So I really studied the industry for a while. And one of the things I noticed about a lot of realtors marketing, it's really focused on them, how great they are, what their successes are, where in reality, the majority of real estate is actually client focused, right?
Yes.
So first things first is why at one point did someone need a realtor? They needed a realtor because they needed access to the MLS, they needed access to the sales. Now they have all that at their fingertips with the internet, as long as they know how to use House Sigma. So then it comes a question of how do you add value to that So for me, that really is one guiding expertise on my opinion about the real estate market. That's my expertise on the local, because there's really two pain points when anyone's going to move. It's what's the uncertainty about the location, and then how do you buy the home? How is the home going to look like? What is there going to be any defects? Whatever. Right? People are trying to minimize risk as much as possible. So people don't need a realtor now to work homes. They can find the homes online. Oftentimes, my clients, I'll send them properties, and at the end of the day, the ones that they pop out on their screen, they'll send to me, and we'll go see because they're the ones that found it, and then it's just my expertise added on top of the local area or the transaction that we're doing.
So that really helps you stand out from other realtors who are awards focused or themselves focused.
Yeah, and you get client, right? Like it's very much a relationship game, real estate. Everyone says it's a relationship because it is. It's true. And when you focus on just providing knowledge, providing value, people will come to you because then you're the expert. So you don't really need to say how many awards you won, what you're. Yeah, people will just understand by the value you provide.
The value you provide to them. I got it. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's digging the well before you drink from it, right? So that's why I started like the YouTube channels because like I can fill your well, you can build a parasocial relationship with me, you can understand my nuances, what I'm gonna say, so that when you reach out, it's also an easy transaction because then it's not selling me. It's like, sweet, we have so much in common. You like what I do, let's go see homes.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of your marketing background, how do you think about your strategic thinking for your marketing? What do you plan? A lot of realtors are just winging it day to day. What's your process?
So I use it's depending on the platform, right? So it really depends. Like you can break it down to Instagram, to YouTube, to just like the overall remarketing to your database. So I guess the first things first is what do you believe your lead generation source is? So for me, that's video. So number one priority, my flagship is my YouTube channel. So the first priority I have is figuring out what's working based on my analytics. So recently I've noticed that Hamilton videos are working well for me. I've noticed that Hamilton neighborhood videos are working well. So I'm doubling down on that and going to do more. And it's just testing based on videos that didn't work versus videos that work. So I use Notion and I just create a database basically where I just write out different ideas, right? It's not a database. I guess it's just like an idea bank where anytime I see another realtor's great video idea, I write it down. Does it fit in? How would I use it? And then from there, besides my flagship of YouTube, Instagram, I try to really use it in two senses. One, I try to be personal. I think I need to be a bit more personal on my Instagram because at the end of the day, people work with people they know, like, and trust. So posting mainly personal stuff with sprinkling in real estate is really what I do. So right now, just trying to post 3 times a week because I'm just one person, so I can only do so much at once. So 3 times a week consistently. And then recently, I've kind of given myself a challenge because I understand the value in stories. I understand how much I enjoy reaching out to people on their stories and the interactions they get. But I think I need to do a better job with my stories. So recently, I did a little challenge for myself, kind of combining the two things I'm trying to work on, my gym. So I got a 30-day challenge where I kind of post my 30 days of going to the gym and then 30 stories also. So it works out. And then that kind of builds one, the personal relationship, people journey, people see the progress. And then if they go to the gym, they'll reach out, they'll support, and it just continues to build that social network, I guess.
Yeah, and people see you, know you, trust you, relate to you, really. You attract
Exactly.
people you want to work with. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would be three key actions that every realtor should be doing, according to you?
According to me, so one, pick a lead generation model that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Any model would be successful. There's people that are successful cold calling, door knocking, videos. It doesn't matter. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Pick something that you enjoy and do it consistently. Because if you enjoy it, you're more likely to do it consistently. And then another strategy, I guess, that realtors should do is just continuing education. If reading isn't your thing, that's fine. I like to read personally, but there's so many different courses, so many different networking opportunities, events to go. So it's the continuous growth, which I've been really thrilled and very happy with the realtor community and how many people are like me with the self-education and self-improvement. So there's a lot of just keep doing that. And the third, I guess, is never give up. And if you fail, you fail. You fail forward, right? Just keep moving forward and keep picking yourself up, and everything will be okay. Because people remember the home run, they don't remember all the strikeouts. People remember Babe Ruth's home runs, they don't remember how many hits they have. So it's the same thing. Just keep swinging.
Yeah, a real mentality for growth. I really see it. That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, people need to like understand that because a lot of time realtor would say, "Well, I don't want to door knock. I don't want to cold call. I don't want to do videos." Pick one. It's perfect. And then
Absolutely.
really
And
own
then
it.
build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
and then it's take care. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. And then it's
I was gonna say just stay consistent on the front end, and then it's just build the relationship, right? Build rapport, check in when it's not just the real estate needs. So like another thing I do pretty regularly is any of my database friends, whether they're ready to buy now or in 5 years' time, just send them a video. Hey, I saw this on Instagram. I just wanted to check in, or happy birthday, or hey, how's university going, or hey, how's your new job going? Whatever it is, just check in because people love to talk about themselves. And
yeah.
if you can talk about themselves, it then allows you another touch point future down the road. Hey, how's this going?
Yeah, no, that's so true because people think that it's just about real estate all the time, and then your database will get inundated with real estate and be like, yeah, you know what, I'm done with this person.
Yeah, exactly.
The personal level.
Hmm.
Yeah, very cool. Tell us, what is your definition of self-growth? Like you're growing, you got this motivation. What is it for you? Does it look like?
Yes, the definition of self growth or I even say success to some extent, is doing things on a daily basis that I enjoy that expand me. So, whatever that is. So, I'm very fortunate that I really enjoy my job, and therefore it allows me to then figure out where I need to grow. Um, but that's really it. It's just continuous. It's the action of doing it every single day. You're not going to notice, like, if you work out, you're not going to notice you lost a pound a day. But when you look up and you go, oh, my videos are actually good now, or oh, I actually know how to speak on camera now. Like it's wild to see the difference a year can make or 2 years can make.
Yeah, true. Looking back a year later is always so gratifying.
Yes, yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah. And what's exciting for you in the industry? Where do you see the industry going? Some agents are like struggling right now. What is it to you?
Yeah, I mean the market's slowed, but this is great, a perfect time to really focus on what your number one thing is as a realtor, and that's lead generation, right? So it's building sustainable lead generation things, whether that's you just picking up door knocking for the first time and understanding that strategy to really what I believe the industry is going is a heavily focused in video and heavily focused in the relationship, right? And it's relating people through video. And that can be on any platforms. I believe in YouTube, just the long term thing is if I put the work into a video today, it's still relevant 5 years from now. And I think more and more realtors are going to kind of jump on that line there. And then just like down the road is if you just look at how the space is going with NFTs or even with the metaverse, like it's all going to digital. So at some point or another, you are going to have to show up in the digital sphere to create a relationship, whether it's video or another platform. So it's really just getting comfortable and communicating your voice through a digital means that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. And then with EXP, you have a huge step forward into the metaverse. You really experience.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to use it for your clients? How are you going to use the metaverse?
I don't know. That's something that I'm just gonna, to be honest, I don't. I'm not really that expert on. I'm curious of it. It's got my interest, but for now, it's going back to what do I need to look at. Metaverse is cool, and it's gonna keep my eye on it for when it's ready to be implemented. But I can't implement anything that most people are going to be using in the metaverse today, so I don't need to learn about it in detail, and that's why I wouldn't be the best person to ask for that.
Yeah, no, it's probably a 2 to 5 year process before you can interact with your clients on it. Yeah,
Exactly, but it's cool just to see where the industry is going. It's cool to see what other industries are doing for it. Because at the end of the day, you can get a lot of inspiration from other industries, right? Like it's even going back to like YouTube or just videos in general, 'cause that's where I focus a lot of my time on, is don't just look at how realtors are creating content. Look at how vloggers are creating content. Look at how Gary Vee is creating content. Look at how other entrepreneurs are creating content because there's usually there that you can mimic that maybe someone isn't doing in the realtor space, or you can pick up different aspects from different people. So that's kind of why I'm kind of excited with the metaverse, but I don't know the tactical use of it yet.
yeah. No, that's a so true principle. Not just look at real estate, not just look at other realtors. What else is out there? Where do you get inspiration
Absolutely.
from? That's really true.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then where do you see yourself grow? Like, how do you see your business grow, or what do you see yourself the next 2 to 5 year goals for you?
Yeah. So I guess right now, like I'm a bit of a year and a bit into the business, right? So the first bit was just understanding how I'm going to utilize video and what that is. So now that I've kind of got that down, that I'm going to help local community content better understand the lifestyle and the real estate. The next part, or like the next year to 2 years, will be really leveraging that video in different aspects, right? So right now, I'm really heavily relying on YouTube organically, but there's a lot of different ways you can repurpose your videos, right? Through email drips, through paid ads, where then you're running people through a funnel where they get access to a video vault or something like that to create a unique offer. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be trying to get people's database, you can either try to sell them a generic offer, you can create a unique offer that not is found anywhere else, and then that will help your conversions go further. So I guess to answer the long-winded is to leverage the videos I have been creating that are evergreen to paid strategies to kind of exponentially grow the list.
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's the next step, and that's how you're going to see growth for yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. It's building the database, and at the end of the day, I forget what book it was, but it was like something along the lines of you only need 1,000 raving fans, which real estate it's even less than that. It's probably 100 raving fans of people that are going to use you to buy, are going to refer you, and as long as you cultivate those raving fans, everything else will follow suit.
Yeah, totally. The Raven fans. I remember that too. I don't remember which book, but yeah, I remember the
It
Raven
stuck with me. Yeah.
Very cool. I had a question for you. For you've been in real estate for 1 year, you've gone through it, you're excited, you're motivated, you love it. What do you say to realtors who are struggling in their first year? What would be your best advice?
Real estate's hard, and that's understandable. It's just to keep going. At the end of the day, most people aren't real estate rock stars right out of the gate, right? It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of going, and at the end of the day, it's just really going back to the thing of just keep trying new things. But there's comes a caveat with that, right? Like keep trying new things if it's working. If it's not working, then move on to the next one, right? So try for whatever it's going to be 6 months, and if it doesn't work, then move on to the next. But oftentimes I find a lot of realtors really get in that shiny object syndrome where YouTube is the thing, then TikTok is the thing, then Instagram's the thing, and therefore you never get good at any of them. It's really stay consistent with one platform and get good in the long run, right? Like at the end of the day, I think it's Tony Robbins that says people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5.
Yeah,
And it goes back to that. It's just have the long-term patience, but work very hard in the micro.
yeah, totally get that. Try something consistently for a while to see the results. If you start going everywhere and trying to grab, it's a little bit inconsistent and it's not going to help you at all.
Absolutely. Everything can be successful. The people that are successful are the people that stay with it, that are consistent.
Love it. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of those tips. This episode is packed with information. Realtors are going to love it. Tell us, where do we find you? Where do we see your video?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at my name, so Matthew Kelly CO, or on YouTube. You want to check out what I'm doing at Living in Burlington and Hamilton, Ontario.
Nice. Love it. This is so great. I hope a lot of tips and hacks are getting shared from this episode for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining. If you know anyone who could benefit from this jam-packed episode full of marketing tips, please share.